to take next week off, or do you want to? Because I'm gonna. Saturdays we can't do Saturday. Monday is the holiday. We're all gonna be hungover.
Because they're
Or
having.
do you want to do it when we wake up from the party?
That's not a bad idea if you're gonna spend the night because you're gonna be all fucked up.
You got plans Monday?
Is Monday Memorial Day?
Yeah.
Not to my knowledge, but you know how that shit goes. You got to give me a day.
What time do you got plans?
I don't know if I don't have plans per se, but because it's a holiday and I have off and my girlfriend has off, I don't know if she's gonna have plans. Let's call it what it is here. Like, we all know how that shit is.
So are you guys married or?
No, but listen, motherfucker, I know I don't drive, but I come out to Gasport every single, or whatever you want to call it, the hills.
I know you do, because we're the fucking assholes that drive.
Oh, dude. Oh, man. Oh,
man.
Fucking shell shock right now.
I got a question.
No, okay, well, the shell shock is looking at you without your fucking scrub.
That's what my question was going to be.
Okay.
James, who's this fucker on the podcast?
Yeah, for real. This is Chrissy Stardust right here.
This came from me gonna like edge it up and shit, you know. Like I was gonna try to get it all nice.
Like a little boy.
Stick to the guitar playing. You're progressing very well. And the singing shit and the rapping thing you already abandoned, which I love. I think that's very important of this podcast.
I didn't want to do it in the first place.
Yeah, I had to. I had to take a shit and write down these fucking lyrics.
Pretty much.
The jury's still out on the drumming too. So.
Oh shit!
How many years have you been waiting for that one?
You'll be able to see it, son. Oh no, you gotta work, but.
No, I've been saying it for a quarter of a century, as much as I can. So, anyways, yeah, back to this fucking.
Yeah,
baby
so
face.
I was just in the mirror and I was like, just take it all off. And then I'm
Were you crying when you
no, I
looked
was
in
like,
the mirror?
take it all off, and then I'm like, no. So then, out of nowhere, I just. I was like, okay, now I gotta take it all off.
Take it all off, you sexy bitch.
No, I gotta let it go. I haven't shaved
That's
my
before the
face
tears
clean
started.
in years. I don't know. Val was like, what the fuck? I'm like, yeah, but not in a bad way. She was just like, she didn't recognize me. I think she thought someone was in the house.
Like, you gotta do, since it's like the summer of 80s metal bands trying to get out there this year, like, you gotta do some of that hair.
Like
you gotta.
tease it? No.
I don't know, like
What are we
some
working
bangs.
with? Let's see, what
Yeah.
are we working with?
Yeah,
Oh,
bangs.
we got possibilities.
Yeah, I don't think
we
it's
can
that bad.
do a lot with this.
There's a lot that can
You
happen
need
to
like
his hair.
short sides, some bangs, a mustache. Like, you need to look like you're driving a fucking Camaro.
Chris Dirt.
That's why I want to shave it off. I'm thinking about getting rid of it, but I don't know. I was thinking about coloring it. I sort of want to have black and half red. Relive my teenage angst.
I don't know. I think like a mullet, some feathered bangs.
You could dye it if it was a mullet. You could pretty much do anything color-wise.
Dude, guys, I don't know
But
what is it with
otherwise-
you and this fucking mullet. The whole car ride here is
I
like...
have never seen a face that is screaming for a mullet as much
Yeah.
as you right now.
Just because I look like an aggressive lesbian doesn't mean anything, alright? I know what
Like-
this face did. You think I'm like actually happy with this? This is what I'm working with.
You're gonna-
I had to start from
I
anew.
bet you'll
Start
gain.
from scratch.
Settle down, you're so aggressive.
You'll probably gain some experience points when you show up at the next convention.
Yeah, maybe.
They'll be like, Chris, he's a man now. Even though he's still like working to get a mustache, full like decent mustache in there.
Even Julie, the 12-year-old and the adult in my household, she was like, "Oh my God, you look like I didn't even know it was you." And I'm like, and then I looked in the mirror and I was like, "Yeah, fuck, like it is like a
I don't
different
even know
fucking
who I
person."
am.
I think it's good though. I like it.
Reed used to cry when I shave.
Yeah, yeah. Once a year you'll shave, right?
Yeah.
You know the funniest thing about your dad though is like for years he could never grow facial hair. Like your dad had this smooth baby face all the time, and then one day all of a sudden he has a fucking beard. Like, what the fuck happened to you? We're like, where did that come from?
Rudy.
Even while
Yeah,
yeah, you
but
guys did know each other a long
it's-
time. What was he,
it's
13? You're talking about?
26.
Pretty much.
Did
Yeah,
you
like I
try
said-
growing it previously?
I didn't have to really like shave on a regular basis until I was like 22, 23.
But there was never
Yeah.
even like a stubble or anything.
No.
Like,
Well, as
and
soon
you-
as it started came in, I took care of it.
but yeah, but I mean, I'm sure there was plenty of nights where you were just so fucking drunk and hungover, waking up at 2 or 3, where you weren't getting that morning shave and to hide the 5
No, I
o'clock
could go a
shadow.
solid 2 weeks before I had to worry about stuff.
Yeah, like there was never a 5 o'clock shadow. It just went from baby face one day to fucking beard, and like we were all fucking kind of shocked about it.
How long you been growing your nest out for?
This particular one right now,
Yeah.
a year and a half. As soon as I turned 40, it was kind of like a plan that I had. Like,
just start growing facial hair.
well, I've always had facial hair,
Yeah.
but like I always get bored with it and trim it, or I do what you did and fuck it up. But then, like,
No, I
They
did
happen.
fuck
That's-
it up. I've done
You-
that
okay.
before. Numerous times, but.
was that Chris's fucking phone
Reed,
again?
it's just Reed. Just keep your mouth shut like every other
Like you
week.
are-
And just sit there and look cute, do your thing, whatever. Just be a
Wait,
kid.
your mom called when we were on the back porch. Was that Grandma? She
Who
calls
the
you every
fuck?
fucking time we do a show. Like,
It could be numerous
Who
people.
the fuck are you to have such a good relationship with your family of communication? Like no one communicates with their family.
That's the
much,
first
Chris.
time anyone who knows me ever said I have good communication.
Yeah, no,
with my
really.
family,
I'm
but-
seriously. Do you talk to your family this much? Like as much as his family tries to get a hold of him? Are they calling you?
Oh,
I have a large. I mean, they don't call me in the middle of doing shit, and if they do, I got my shit on silence and away
I've
from
been good
the
about it.
away from over here. Yeah, good. Like 2 episodes where shit didn't ring.
No,
I'm impressed. I think that's awesome.
I
Your
try-
family-
I-
can you talk
well,
to your family
no, I'm not
sometimes?
mad
Me
at
and
it.
my 9 out of 10 times is my grandmother.
I just think it's super funny that Grandma calls you every single fucking thing. It doesn't matter if it's a Saturday or if it's a fucking Monday.
Oh yeah.
Like Grandma's calling you during the
And
show.
lately it's like 10:30, 11 at night. What sucks about that though is like because it's
I-
so frequent, you hear like age. You know, like
Yeah.
2-3 weeks go by, like, and you're talking 7 or 8 times, and you're like, man, she's forgetting a lot of fucking shit today. You know what I mean? Like,
Meanwhile,
fuck.
like you're on edibles and all stoned and drunk and you're forgetting
Yeah.
shit
You
too.
guys are
So,
probably forgetting
Not
around the
drunk,
same
but
amount of
stoned
shit.
and on edibles. Yes.
so the conversation is just you two forgetting what the fuck you're.
That's why you gotta talk every day.
Yeah, we're
It
both
makes-
just saying
it
the
makes-
same stories.
It makes fucking sense.
And with my mom, I mean, things have been really fucking good lately. She just came back from Oklahoma. So we went there yesterday. My dad took her to Oklahoma. So fucking, it's just been chilling and stuff like that. And so yeah, I talked to her from, she calls me like every day now again.
Did you
Back-
make her watch episode 10?
No. She knows that she was a topic on it.
And we never got feedback from you from your brother about episode 10.
Oh
either. Like,
yeah,
what did
he actually, it's funny because he watched it like,
we're at 21 now, and
He-
now we're just talking
he
about.
actually watched it like 2 or 3 weeks ago. For the first time all the way through. Because I think he started it and just watched the, because that's where James comes back with the redemption rap.
Okay.
Which don't get used to that shit. That's a one and done deal.
Broken clocks right twice a day.
Yeah. Maybe in a couple years you'll have a comeback for an
Pretty sure
episode.
Tom Petty had a
Whoa.
song all about it.
Yeah.
Whoa. Where's this heat coming from?
Just being your friend, dude. Just being your
Okay.
friend. No.
Cranking it back up. Round 3 or 4,
No,
whatever it is.
Which actually,
No,
you
because
know,
you kicked my ass in that battle as well.
so you're kind of you're a little bent on it.
No,
You're
no,
a little
I'm not.
miffed.
I'm not bent, but I watched it again, like maybe, I don't know, maybe fucking a half a month ago. And I was like, yeah, damn, that might be the best bars out of all of them. I like to hear him rap them, but him talking them is equally as funny.
So it kind of brings us into a topic
Yeah.
for today.
So yeah, doors at 7, kitchen at 9. Here we are, and we're at the 21 blackjack episode here. We're not going to talk about blackjack.
Why not?
Why? Because we're going to end up talking about whackjack. But let's get to whackjack level. We got to set it up the right way. So we've been in the kitchen the last couple weeks.
Right.
2 episodes in a row. We're talking about fucking restaurants.
Kicking off with the Ben episode.
Yeah, which was amazing. Say it again.
Just
Thanks,
fun.
Ben.
Great talking to that dude. It was just so fucking.
We got to get him on here to be like our West Coast fucking Zoom guy.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
And
I
fucking,
could see him just like coming. If we have him like weekly, it would just be crazy fucking thing after crazy.
If he would
thing.
just call us to vent after work every now and
Yeah,
then, would
that-
be fucking perfect.
that's a good idea. We'll have to
like,
message
dude, you
him.
need to blow off some steam. Like, we're here for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and he would too.
Yeah, it'd be fucking awesome.
I feel he's the kind of guy that disappears from the internet and the world for like 6 years at a time, and then just comes back and gets a hold of the people that he actually cares about, like that he met along the way, like James and shit, and then he's gone.
Yeah, so 2 restaurant episodes in a row. But now, like, one thing we forgot to touch on, why people don't want to work, because it's hot as fuck in the kitchen right now. With the
Yeah,
weather getting nice, and who the fuck wants to sit in the kitchen with a mask on for 8 to 10 hours?
it
dying?
does make a fucking gigantic difference. Like, cause when we're in there, like at night, when I'm going with Dave when he's doing the final checkout and shit, and like I take the mask off because the fucking building's closed, you
Mhm.
know. So it's just there's no one back there with me and Dave, and like you can just tell the fucking like it's just so
Yeah.
it's so easier to fucking breathe and shit, but still you gotta you have to do it. Unless now if you're vaccinated, you don't.
So we should bring it back to music a little bit, and something we kind of figured out. I think on accident last week by being too fucking stoned at the end of our show, and I was trying to talk about your whitewater rafting trip, but I said whitewater trapping.
Yeah, you did.
But then the gears
definitely came out of your mouth, not mine.
Yeah, and that's what happens. You know, it's by 6 or 7 o'clock at night, I start fucking stumbling over words after fucking a bunch of weed.
Right.
But then I was like, wait a minute, whitewater trapping is be a great song
With the trap beat.
with a trap beat. So I found a trap beat,
You found one, and I'm normally not. And
which was called Water, ironically.
And it was new, wasn't it? It was released this year, right? It was
This
one
year
of
or
those
last
free
year.
beats, yeah.
It's a free use beat.
I'm not huge on trap beats in general, but this one I specifically like.
And then I sent it to you, and you were all about it.
Yeah, I was. That beat is cool because I like melodic like trap beats that have some kind of like rhythm section behind it, a little bit. Unlike some that just is sort of like weird dubstep with a consistent beat. So yeah, I dug it for sure.
So then while we're brainstorming ideas for what are we going to do this episode, because we don't got nobody coming in to sit with us and fucking chop it up, I said, why don't we talk about like songwriting? Like, why don't we actually work on making the fucking whitewater trapping a song and show a little bit of progress each week?
I'm in.
So we have the beat.
Are we gonna being little progress?
Oh,
what's that?
The keyword being little progress.
Little progress.
Yeah. We'll see how far this goes. I like
Little
that.
Progress is a great rap group name for me.
That's your guys' fucking
Little
That's a
Progress.
rap group for sure.
Rap group, Little
Progress.
Wait, Lil Progress.
Little Progress.
L-I-L apostrophe.
Little Progress X.
Yeah, I'm in.
This is kind of scary.
This is the new thing, and we're gonna ride this wave read until it fucking crashes, just
So-
like this podcast and everything else we touch.
So we'll do like early on in the show updates of what we're doing until we get this fucking song out there. But now we got to get back and sit down and write down some bars and listen to the thing.
And
Should we play the fucking beat?
We can because it's free for use beat.
Yeah, we'll pull it up. You want to give them the subject matter?
Quick little freestyle to get your.
It's
mind
called.
Oh, jeez, Reed. Now Reed's asking for shit, Bob. What is this?
It was on YouTube. It's called the search was
Set
Free
up.
Trap Beats. The name of the song is called Water.
When I was looking for different trap beats too, after you sent that to me, because I was sorry, like I said, I actually liked it. And I was like, maybe let's see what else they got going. And I typed in
Yellow or blue?
yellow.
the top one, the yellow one. Yeah, that one was like right up at the fucking top. So.
And it's got like this little like Mexican thing going on.
I pulled a lot of beats off of this channel. They have really good beats.
And so the first order of business, obviously, we're gonna have to kick around some ideas for like a hook.
Yeah.
And then maybe some subject matter.
Now, are we going the funny way, or are we trying to keep it serious?
I don't know. What do you want? What do you think? Let's ask our producer extraordinaire what he thinks.
I kind of think because it's whitewater trap, it should be about the fact that you guys are white, like doing trap beats and appropriating music.
Okay.
Culture.
All right. I mean, we can do that. I think that's taking it a little too seriously, but we can do that.
I mean,
let me hear
all right,
the beat.
here are the
beat.
The animation is fucking killer.
yeah, it's good. Let's just get snacks.
Grab your pedals. Let's drop it.
Not being said.
That could be an ad-lib.
Yeah.
Yeah, not typically my type of beat.
No, I can
I
picture
do
high
like
C
this
all
way
over
more.
this shit. I can hear your fucking voice.
I'm in.
All right, so
So we'll start that next up. Now, back to your thing. Are we taking off for Memorial Day then? So let's discuss that. I say we do.
I'm for us doing something on Memorial Day, even if it's early on. Like, are you planning on getting shit-faced drunk and spending the night? where you could literally pop up off the couch and just start fucking.
Like we will set up and like just start the podcast from you waking your ass.
Nah, dude.
Which we actually tried. Remember we tried that in episode 2. Like we were trying to do some fucking acting or whatever you call it, like pretending we were sleeping and waking up.
Yeah,
that in an episode?
that was
We tried it
bad.
and we're like, no, that didn't work.
Did not work.
Do you still have the footage of
If
that?
you have it, you could post. If you have it, you can
I think it
post
was
it right here.
it was like
Yeah.
legit episode
that
2.
was bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then we
that
went
did not
back. We were
work.
going on the way home. We were like all defeated. Like, what the fuck happened? Like,
Well, yeah, it's just two fat guys waking up on the couch going, ah! Welcome to our show.
It's not really our target audience, but I mean,
Yeah, our OnlyFans is what it looked like. Fucked up.
link
So-
below.
Yeah, buy us new cameras.
Yeah.
We need money. Me and James doing OnlyFans. That would be
That-
fucking awful, dude.
Terrible.
Be fucking
Dude, I bet
Dude, I bet
disgusting.
there's a niche for like little chubby guys. Little hetero kind of chubby guys.
Yeah.
Doing OnlyFans. I bet there's people that are into that.
Well, if you're
maybe.
interested, drop a comment down below. Get right on that.
But so where do you guys, what are your songwriting?
Yeah.
And look, topic-wise,
I
you
gotta
can
say-
pick whatever. Like for this, I was
For
just
the
throwing out
whitewater
ideas.
trapping.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I think it's something like we'll have to both like sit and listen to this beat and kind of see where it goes, and we can video chat about it or whatever.
Yeah, and
But-
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I'll go.
Go.
What if we talk about how you get pulled into a whitewater trip that you really don't want to go in, and it's a whitewater trap?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'll just fucking tell
Just
the
talk
story
about,
and rap.
your wacky whitewater rafting stories, like you with your inside-out wetsuit, you with everything.
Okay, here it is. We'll relate those individual trips to our life in general.
Yeah. And then we'll
Yeah.
go.
And so it doesn't have to be corny and all based around fucking whitewater rafting, but it can sort
Yeah,
of
I was
be
thinking
related
whitewater
'cause-
rafting would just be on the surface. There'd be more some in-depth
Well,
stuff
people
on
know
it.
our story now with that shit
Yeah.
from last week, so I feel we can just sort of incorporate it to how we always feel like we're in wetsuits up to our knees in jeans and water, fucking hating life. You know what I mean? I feel me and you will be able to pull that
Yeah.
off better than anybody else in this room, at least.
Yeah. And I'm just trying to stay away from the paddle so it don't smash me in the mouth and knock out a tooth.
Oh, shit. That'd be a great. We shoot a music video for it. We'll have your tooth get knocked out for real.
There's worse things than missing a couple of teeth.
Yeah. Coming out of Bob or my brother, it's easy to say.
So, folks, shit, right there, you just saw a little bit of a fucking songwriting process. The very first part where you're brainstorming. That's
Right,
kind of what we're
yeah.
going to do today, is just talk about songwriting in general.
All right.
Songs we've written, songs that we like that are written.
Okay, so how
Inspiration.
Buzzhound being both your like first, was that technically your first like okay, but was it your first bands that played like multiple shows and shit? No.
That
How
was
many
his
were you-
opus of a band.
How many were you in? How many were you in before that? I know you had the band in Rochester.
Yeah, Mumble Crust was my first local band.
Mumble Crust is actually
Mumble-
a pretty cool name.
It's Toothless
weird.
Beggar. It means Toothless Beggar. It's from that game Bangladesh. Balderdash.
Balderdash.
Cool. Yeah, that's actually a cool name.
Yeah, I
I
couldn't
dig
think of a
that.
name, so I just grabbed the Balderdash stack of cards and I just went through it looking for cool words.
That's a
See,
great
there
idea.
even band names, like, there we go. Like, that's
Yeah.
coming
Okay.
up
So
with band
you
names.
came up with One Way Terror.
And Buzzhound. But
Okay.
yeah, one way
All right, so let's start Buzzhound so we can have... So Buzzhound, where did that name generate from? We know how you guys met. So who
Buzzhound-
was in a band first with the other guys that sort of all came together?
With Buzzhound?
Yes, but yeah.
It was me, Matt, and Charlie just, dicking around on instruments and having an excuse to hang out and smoke weed. And we originally had our buddy Billy Nelson be a drummer, but he was like 12 or 13 at the time.
Yeah.
And he wanted to do it, but we knew Bob, once he was moving back from Albany, we were like, come jam. And we did.
Literally the same year like you guys.
No, yeah. As soon as he was coming back, like, yo, we're trying to start a band. And, like, he knew the fellas, maybe not as good, but he knew, like, smoking and drinking was going to be priority number 2.
Right.
This is before the foosball, he even saw the foosball table. So, the actual name Buzzhound came from a kid I was friends with back in the day. He had gotten in a car accident. It was probably like around 99, 2000. He got in a car accident, so he was laid up all summer on crutches in a wheelchair. So he couldn't go anywhere, so he'd always just call people up and they'd come over to his house. Like, he'd be sitting on his porch and smoke and shit. And he'd always be like, oh, sorry I'm being such a buzzhound, but I can't get out of the house and go get anything, so I calling people up. So I remember sitting on his porch, so like I had probably just started picking up a guitar, and I was like, I am gonna fucking have a band, and that's what the fucking name is gonna be, Buzzhound.
So that name, when I think about...
And this was 5 years before we even started, like, being Buzzhound.
When I think about band names that are identifiable by the people in them, it's Motorhead and Buzzhound. Motorhead because they were all speed addicts, and fucking Buzzhound because that's just, with all your guys' stories, that's perfect. The dog that ate all that weed, just fucking perfect.
And then another, like, and it gave us...
Buzzhound seem to keep circulating around your guys' life, like, just
and it
that
gave...
name.
And then in that, like, having that name, and we decided, hey, you know, back in the 80s, you might have been just a little kid, you might not remember it or not, but there was McGruff the Crime Dog was a thing, and he was like a cartoon, like PSA
yeah. With the trench coat? Yeah.
Being off of drugs and, like, no crime and shit like that. So we kind of made him, like, our unofficial mascot. Actually, his brother, not McGruff himself, but his brother McPuff, the Dime Dog, was kind of like our... So it gave us, like, an art outlet as well.
Is that McPuff? Is that a thing?
That's his brother. McPuff the Dime Dog.
The Dime Dog. Is that, like, the drug user?
Yeah, but we're the ones that brought him to the fucking mainstream audiences. Nobody knew, because, like, McGruff didn't want to talk about his fucking shitty brother.
He was like the other Quaid brother.
Yeah, the one that you never know about.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, alright, so
the one that doesn't get the press.
Doesn't really exist, but somehow shows up, and every couple fucking just sort of shows up.
So it gave us, like, an extra angle to add to with that. And we're very protective of the name. There is a couple fucking bands out there over the years. Like, we somehow own some kind of rights to this name. I forgot it.
Do you own rights, Bob?
Yeah, not necessarily in this country though. I don't know. I gotta find that paperwork.
Like, we did fill out some paperwork to, like, get this name under our ownership, and you know, our producer does go on the internet like once a year and, you know, send some emails to other bands that are trying to use our name.
Well, give a plug to where you can hear Buzzhound.
You can't right
at
now.
all. It's not on YouTube.
There's live videos.
There's live
YouTube,
footage.
But you know what? I'll upload
the recordings.
I'll upload a couple recordings to the
'Cause I can't-
7 channel.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I-
let's do that.
I don't have the master. I can't find the master CD of all our things.
I got it.
All right. Do you even have, like, the Op Ivy cover?
Yeah.
What Op Ivy song do you do?
Unity.
Oh, dude, sweet.
Probably some of my fucking best guitar playing too, by the way, because I have, like, the little lick record in the background too.
Do you have that song?
Not the most
on
technical,
yet?
but it's probably my most, like...
I want to hear that after the podcast, unless you got it right on you right now.
What is it?
That Unity, that Op Ivy cover.
No, there's live footage of us playing it.
Is there?
Mm-hmm.
Where?
Merlin's.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
On YouTube? Sweet. Alright, cool. So Buzzhound ends, and how long in between Buzzhound and...
Well, Buzzhound never really ended. Buzzhound just kept, like any fucking weird stray dog, like, Buzzhound just runs off to the woods, goes and knocks up some bitches. Bitches not being a derogatory female term, but bitches is in female dogs.
Alright, so you guys go and fuck dogs, and then what do you do?
And then, you know, like, might show up, you know, every once in a while at your doorstep looking for a meal or a pet, and then fucking runs back off, and you just never really know.
So, McPuff needed to go to rehab.
Okay.
Bad.
Is he a
kind
real
of lost
person?
touch after that.
Did you guys make him up?
Yes.
McPuff, okay.
McPuff is
I thought maybe he was just like, you know,
he's like our
McPuff was like,
mascot.
you know, my brother fucking struggles.
No, I got a picture of him, but I just got to read down.
He
the
showed up on
Facebook
Thanksgiving looking for money.
Yeah.
He just shows up.
I mean, you never know, and, you know, that will lead us in this further down this conversation, but...
I want a James Kenneth original piece of a drawing of this character.
I have
I'm
originals.
trying to pull it up, but I just don't have Facebook on this phone.
I want to and do what?
You know
How
what?
is that even a thing?
I'll send you one in our server, and then you can post it right here.
But yeah, I already have it. That's good.
But I might have ones you don't have. Oh, wait. Unless you...
All right.
So
the quick abridged version of One Way Terror's band name, because you were working with Dave at the restaurant that I currently work at with Dave. Go
now,
ahead.
right around the time, like, starting One Way Terror was just because, you know, working with Dave, working with Jake, working with Andy, you got a bunch of guitar players and a drummer, a guitar player willing to switch over to be a bass player, all listening to Maiden, Megadeth, and other shit, crust punk. So it's just a natural progression that, like, these dudes are gonna get together and jam,
Right.
which we did. And then after the first time we jammed, we got a little something going on here. We should make a band out of it. Now, for the first 2 months, there was absolutely no band name. I'm like, we got to figure something out. So the way we did it was, I was like, by the next time we practice, everybody write a list of like 10 to 15 names. And then we'll weed it down to the top 3 on everybody's list. And then the week after, we're going to pick the one we want. Now, how the actual name One Way Terror was thought of, I was over at my man's house, my next door neighbor, your mom's, I should say, and we're fucking dabbing, getting completely fucking stoned. And then I was leaving his house, walking out to my car, but on the side of his house, like, there's a bunch of trees, so it almost looks like a fucking alley.
Alright.
And I was just picturing, like, a one-way alley and, like, it being a terrifying thing for people. And somehow, like, after all these dab hits, like, the idea of One-Way Terror came into my head, and I just wrote it down on my list because I was actively brainstorming ideas. I will say that was not my choice for the name. Because my choice, that was number 1 on my list, was Threat Level High. You know, I was right back in the fucking...
What was the general consensus? Too wordy?
No, just everybody, like... I don't know, I don't think anybody...
Because Threat Level High ended up becoming a song that I've never
That's-
played with them, but I love that song.
That's why it became a song. Because when we finally cut the list down, and, like... I know everybody else was kind of struggling with names, and... You know, Jake, shout out to you, Jake, but you had some wacky fucking names that made absolutely no sense. Like, nobody was really...
Do you remember any of them? Come
Not
on.
like
Come on.
like there was something about a like spiky dinosaur. Not even spiky dinosaurs. I would have been like,
You know,
I would have liked spiky dinosaurs.
That band I was telling you about that I played at Niagara We Feel with,
Uh-huh.
they went on to form another band called It's a Dinosaur, way past my talent to play.
Mhm.
Like, I'm good, but those
I
guys
think
are
I've
fucking
seen-
virtuosos.
I've seen that name.
And, fucking... That's a cool name. It's a dinosaur. When you said
Yeah.
dinosaur, but spiky dinosaur, not so much. But
I would have been down with spiky. It was something weird though. I don't know. It was like there wasn't a lot of. Everybody was kind of stuck on what a name would be, and then One Way Terror happened to be on my list. Didn't even really think too much of it. Like I said, I wanted Threat Level High. I thought that would have been like a punker sounding name.
And do you know that is from a lyric in an NoFX song?
What's that? Threat Level High.
Fools in wolf clothing.
But
Yeah,
that-
this is. I think One Way or
I
that
think it
band
was
stuff.
the exact same time.
do you
It could
know,
have. I mean,
though-
that was right after
Yeah.
that was right after the fucking W. Bush years, though, and the threat level was high all the fucking time.
But
so.
that's where a lot
mean-
of band names come from. Song titles from other bands, old movies, like a lot.
TV shows from the 80s.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's any problem with using that as or using something from.
I haven't
something
seen
else.
Punky Brewster live yet.
But One Way Terror is a great.
So that was-
original. That's
Rick Buff.
fucked up.
That's McFuffin, Nine Dog.
I don't
With
know.
one of his little lady friends there.
I don't know what he's dealing, but it's one of two things in my head.
Yeah. Well, he's got his hand
Well,
on
you're
top
right.
of her
It's got
head.
the-
Yeah, so. Things
yeah.
happen.
An important PSA: write down everything when you're writing music or coming up with names or something, even if it's
Yeah.
shit, because you can always add another fucking word.
And that's exactly like I said. I'm on at threat level high, and we first started jamming. We had that one song. We had no name for it either, so that was like the consolation prize was the name of the song.
Yeah.
Even though I was the only one that liked that name, everybody else liked One Way Terror, and that was just from fucking too many dabs coming out of your mom's house, going to my car and fucking thinking some shit.
Well,
I don't know.
I'll tell you this: One Way Terror is much easier it's much easier to say than Threat Level High. Threat Level High, even though they're both
Yeah,
three
and
words, Threat Level High seems to be
It's
not
real-
have the cadence that One Way
it doesn't
Terror
flow
does.
as much. You got the, and you know, we didn't know how long the span was gonna last. We didn't know like
So were you
It started
arguing
in-
against your own name?
There wasn't really an
Like,
argument.
I
Like,
asked. You were doing?
I was
Likely.
That's why I asked.
I was definitely trying to influence the other name,
Yeah.
but no,
That's
I
when we were
don't.
talking to Dave about it. He was like, "It's not gonna be one."
Yeah.
The Right Level High,
It just at the time,
it's a
like,
great song name, which it is
Like-
a one-way terror song.
Dave, Jake, and this is what 2009, so it's 13 years ago. So I would have been, 28. Would have made Jake and everybody else, and Dave and Andy 18.
Yeah, wow. That's
So for a
fucking
bunch of
wild.
kids in a punk band, like Threat Level High made sense at that moment.
Do any of
The
you,
weird
do either
thing
of you
is-
have that song?
Yeah.
Because I
I-
lost it a long time ago. It's so much so that you can send it to me
I
tonight.
found a bunch of burned one-way terror CDs the other day.
Oh, sweet, really?
And
The
Not from
original one.
the Hot and Haggard Way.
I don't think it's Hot and Haggard Way.
It's probably the ones you were given to learn the shit, maybe, because you're not on
No,
those
there was-
recordings, are you?
I'll check it. I'll see what I got.
Are you on Threat Level High, or is that Andy?
No, it's-
no, we did another recording before Hot and Haggard Way. And I cannot remember what
Threat Level
Yeah.
High and
I
This
can't
early.
even-
is your guys' demo. You call it demo.
We didn't even have a name for it?
No,
I find that hard to
It's
What
a
believe.
other
one-way terror demo.
What other songs were on there? There was another one.
Like Satisfied must have been on there.
Satisfied was on
Reality.
there, which made it all
Last
Reality.
page.
Last page.
right.
And then
Is Threat Level High the only one that didn't make it
By
on?
the Edge.
Okay, so is Threat Level High the only one that didn't make it on to? Because I thought Threat Level High was the best one-way terror song when that came out. Because I remember Dave sending it.
Man, like I'm surprised I'm drawing a blank. Like I swear there had to have been a name for that album. Demo just doesn't sound
It
right.
was just demo.
And I remember recording it. And a funny little side story about that is we recorded some guy in Amherst in his basement had a studio. He used to play in a band. I think he used to know Mike from the Abrupters
Okay,
and Morg
yeah.
Riot and stuff. Was friends with them. Might have recorded some Morg Riot shit down there. And this is back during the whole Teeth episode.
Right.
And I rode up with Jake, and like I was pretty heavy into the Valium at the time, and we're recording, and Jake forgot his guitar pick, so he wanted to drive home and get it instead of just use my guitar pick because he needed like a 1.8 millimeter instead of like a .88. Had to go back. Well, since I rode up with Jake, I left my weed and my little tin, and it had a bunch of Valiums in it, right? And was on the front seat. He just hopped in his car and took off. Like, we were in the middle of recording shit down in the basement.
Oh man, you must have been freaking out.
I didn't know, but he was so amped up. He was driving, and he was headbanging to whatever he was listening to. Maybe it was like, getting in the zone.
Probably Exodus,
He's headbanging.
Testament, maybe.
I think he might have smashed his head off of his steering wheel in the middle of headbanging. And it was like covered in blood or something. Maybe he was just headbanging and being all crazy, but he gets pulled over by the cops. Andy's girlfriend is driving up to the Eastern Hills Mall because Andy had already decided he was going to leave the band, but he's said, I'll stick. I know we were going to make this album or
Was
these demos.
Bob hired already then at that point?
I think Bob, we might have already even played. We haven't, I don't know.
'Cause
Bob
he
might
had to
have.
fill in last minute for
No, it
something.
was
Did-
before because that's what I used to learn the songs.
Okay, yeah, so we didn't know what we were going to do. Actually, we wanted to get Steve Kelly, maybe, because I don't know. I don't know what had happened. We weren't thinking about it. We just wanted to make this album because we had these fucking songs. We didn't even know if
Yeah.
we were going to have a drummer and keep being a band. So, Andy had agreed that he would stick around and at least record the thing before he left. So we're recording, and since he's there, his girlfriend's driving up to the mall. Drives by Jake on the side of the road, pulled over by the cops. And calls Andy on his cell phone and says, "Yo, I thought you guys were recording. Like, Jake's pulled over on the side of the road." So I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, I got a fucking metal tin with weed and Valiums in it. And if Jake's not going to be able to handle the cops right, and then he's going to get fucking charged. Meanwhile, this same very day, your boy Ball wanted to do a show on LCTV. And you have to go through like different courses of certification to take all the classes. Now, I had already done that years ago, so I was already certified. That's why I was able to help Scott with his What I Jack show once in a while when
Yeah.
the other guy wasn't doing it. Because I had wanted to do a show way back then. So
Did
I
he
took
have
all the courses.
he had a show?
Yeah, he had a cooking show on public access.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's
So me and a couple friends were gonna do it, but we ended up not doing it. So I used to go on Saturdays and fucking be the cameraman for the Save a Pet show, where they bring fucking like cats and dogs into the fucking studio.
Is there footage of this, dude? Because it has to go right here.
Well, I was just doing the camera. I wasn't like on there talking.
Bob
or nothing.
has transferring abilities now.
I'm just saying, I was behind.
everything's on
I was
tape.
behind the camera filming. I wasn't on air personality like I am now. I was just the camera guy. But I had all the fucking credentials, and then Scott had a show, so I helped him once in a while work on that because I had the credentials. So I knew the guy running the thing. And your boy Ball wanted to do a show, so he went and got tested and got all the credentials. And he wanted me to be a part of it since I had it too. So he just happened to want, like that very day, he's like, I got this paperwork, I need you to sign it so we can do the show. By the way, none of these fucking shows ever got done. But I got to film for Save a Pet or the SPCA.
Sweet.
Like lizards and cats and dogs and birds, all kinds of cool shit.
That's sweet.
And that very day he wanted me to sign this, so I'm like, well, we're trying to record.
James is just recording this, smoking cigarettes, dude, just chain smoking, recording animals and shit, all high and on Valium. All right, sorry.
I think I was doing this before, like getting into the Valiums and stuff. And you can't smoke inside the studio, but
Yeah, nothing stops you. He holds up the whole production. He's like, oh, dude, I just got to go smoke one more cigarette. He's down there for 15 minutes. He comes back in, says 5 words to him, and says, I'll be right back, and goes outside and smokes again. Yeah, go ahead. I just wanted to show the compare and contrast.
okay, because I got no argument for that whatsoever.
I had a bust your balls.
I got absolutely no argument because that does happen a lot. So, Ball is, all right, I'll meet you wherever you are. I need to get this signed because he actually had a little bit of ambition this day. So he shows up like right at the exact moment for me to sign this paper, where we're all sitting there like, oh shit, Jake's pulled over on fucking Millersport or wherever he is, like with a cop. And I'm like, fuck, I drove in with Jake. So I was like, Ball, you gotta fucking, like, we gotta go and find wherever Jake is on the side of the fucking road because he's not gonna be able to deal with cops. And I'm gonna have to go to the cop and be like, when they find the shit, I'm gonna have to be like, this isn't his shit, this is my shit. Like, don't charge him, charge me instead, kind of thing. So we hopped in the fucking Ball's car, and we drive, and we end up finding Jake just as he's leaving from the fucking cop.
The cop's already gone?
No, the cop's still there.
Okay.
He's literally turned to pull out.
Yeah.
Lights are off now, and Jake's sitting there, and I'm like running up, like thinking I'm gonna be getting in trouble for this shit, and somehow like Jake distracted him with whatever shit he was doing, and they just looked at him and didn't want to like search his car. Because the tin was still sitting there. So, yeah.
That's lucky.
That was recorded in that fucking One-Way Terror demo.
Recordings never 100% go the way that you fucking want them to. Though ours... No, actually, yeah. Correct. None of the recordings I've ever did actually went the way I wanted them to.
Yeah, I mean, aren't you guys sitting on an album from like 5 years ago?
Oh, yeah. We get shit from that to people. I didn't even know that they knew anything about that. People at work, Big Dave... is like, oh, when's the fucking record coming out? I'm like, dude.
Wasn't your
turn it into Chinese democracy?
Oh my god.
I know. Wasn't your producer just saying at the end of last week's episode, like telling you and your fucking lead singer, go get your fucking vocals done?
Yeah, I know. Like that's been an option for longer than 2 weeks.
It has been.
But it's been what, 5 years?
Not that we knew. We were waiting on. Everyone knows Joe now. We were waiting on him to let us know how and when to do this. He was in between.
Didn't I hear the instrumentals of this like a year before I even had a child?
Yeah,
like sitting in your car. You
probably
played
heard it with vocals, just not the vocals.
No, I heard just instrumentals without vocals.
Well, we're writing new material now because the shit that isn't even out yet is boring to us, I think.
Well, we have to relearn some of it.
Yeah, we've been playing a lot of it.
Let's get back to songwriting now that we're talking about.
Yeah, we are talking. We're talking about song. Like, well, this is a big thing of songwriting. Like, why doesn't shit get finished?
Yeah. Oh, it's time. It's money. It's fucking. If you think that you can get out of the studio.
How much money does it take for you to go fucking sing your vocals?
No,
and your fucking
it's
your
motivation. But
your guitar player's fucking studio on his microphones and the recording equipment.
Dave Ward, listen, that is not.
He'll
tell you.
Yeah, Dave.
I'll look at him. I'm talking to him.
I'm
I'm talking to him. Hi, Dave. Thanks for watching. I'm talking to him. I know he sits on his fucking couch and watches. I'm talking.
Now
He's
he's
talking
pissed.
back. He's talking.
Yeah, so Wednesday, 11:30. Now you're gonna get a phone call.
Yeah, definitely. I'll get a
Talking
text.
some shit.
No,
Who's gonna do the vocals?
no, it's not Dave. It's everybody's fucking schedule and people are moving. It's true, dude. You don't believe that? Come on now. Like the thing is, here's the thing. We should have finished the fucking right. We should have talked about this when Joe was
3 jobs ago, when you had some time.
You're a son
Before
of a
you
bitch.
guys, before you two are working in the same kitchen,
No,
the same
well-
exact fucking
Well,
hours.
that I mean,
Why don't- on your
this
way-
album's been years.
On your way home from work, why don't you pop in the fucking studio?
This
You guys
al-
can harmonize for 8 hours.
This album was.
You can do your
Before-
whoa, whoa, whoa background vocals while you're fucking slinging some pork on a bun.
I've been with Valerie for almost 4 years now. Actually, 4 years. It was.
Are you blaming her?
No, no, it was
She's still
recorded
wondering-
before
It's not
that.
her
Yeah.
fault.
No, I'm saying it
It's
was
not her fault.
that album.
Apologize.
Yeah,
Apologize.
Bob's
right now.
blaming her.
She's still waiting to hear. She's like, what happened to that album you recorded before we started dating?
Oh, she don't watch the show. I'll fucking talk about her all day. She can't. And now with this
I
new
have-
haircut, she ain't coming anywhere near seeing me on a screen.
I have nothing to do with whatever he's saying.
Nah,
Same.
she's supportive. She's good. I just. I don't know
She's
why.
still wondering where the fuck these vocals are.
Yeah, she heard the songs enough. Yeah, back to your question. We should have finished there in the fucking studio with Doug.
You didn't have a chance.
But me and Joe were fucking idiots and decided to write like 6 new songs 2 days before, and we all learned it. Joe literally wrote them on the drums, and me and Joe just wrote them. And
Dave and I are
Dave-
in the studio writing lyrics.
Yeah.
After the song's already recorded, before the lyric. Like,
You guys are actually writing like that, like in the studio, pounding whiskey somewhere in the alley.
No,
No.
we
There was
weren't.
whiskey.
Yeah.
There
Yeah,
was
I know.
some drinking towards the end.
I know. I wasn't even there, and I fucking know.
In a lot of
I know how
weed,
it
but
goes.
I remember doing like just fucking going in and getting it done, but there wasn't. We either could have paid for more time, or Joe had a studio at the time. We could have finished it. He had. It's motivation. It could have got done if we all would have pulled together and did it. But then every time we'd be like, okay, let's start working on it again. We'd fucking go in a room, hash out notes and stuff, and then wouldn't get together again for fucking.
And then you'd start eating
Few
edibles and drinking a little bit. Next thing you know, you're playing fucking half-ass Van Halen riffs.
We're not in
and
our
Skid
early.
Row.
None of us are in our early 20s.
And then Bob's
none
like,
of
how
us,
the fuck did I end up in this...
No, none. You're part of the excuse. You're in the band.
20s and 20 fucking years.
No, you're not listening. You're not listening. I know
Wait.
your record ain't done, motherfucker. Now listen.
My parts are done.
yeah.
Wait, hold up, hold up.
Even
Once-
the gang vocals I'm a part of are done.
Oh yeah, we recorded those too. I forgot.
Hold up
about
1
that.
second.
I didn't.
Let me see
No,
how... Let me see how close to accurate I am.
All
You're
right.
getting together. You're getting a little drinking, a little smoking. Next thing you know, like 80s metal riffs are starting to be played. And then you're saying, like, oh, I can play, like, there's 3 beats for every one of these fucking songs that I don't know or listen to. And then next thing you know, you're just back there playing one of 3 beats while him and Dave are fucking living out their 80s metal fantasies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's practice.
Yeah.
that sums up practice.
That's pretty much it.
Okay, see?
Yeah, but for the
No,
there was
we're
a
productive.
lot of us were going through a lot in life.
Yeah.
All
fair.
of us had like very distinct individual things. Joe was just out of college. He was touring. He was in bands. He was starting up Indigo. Had his own studio. He was recording, doing that stuff. Chris, I mean, you guys know this.
Yeah,
fucker.
we
He's
know-
a
we know-
fucking mess.
No!
Yeah, we know Chris's
So
story.
like, that's just whatever. Dave was
Oh
working.
no! Whatever.
Dave,
Can't
he-
say.
He was getting married and shit. He was
Yeah.
planning the wedding for like a year, all that stuff.
And then...
Me, I was just traveling all the time, so like I didn't need to be there though, so it's not
Yeah.
really my fault. So it was pretty.
I was
much
like, I got
Chris
3 beats.
and Dave will just refuse to like spend the time dedicated to like doing.
Dave, are you listening to this fucking shit? See, because now he's fucking with me. See, he's fucking with me personally and with the band, but your name is now brought in too. So the personal shit is cool. Whatever. The shit with the band, though, this is not true, and you're going to have to come on and help me out here. Because I know you're watching, and I know you're screaming at this fucking asshole that is the only one you cannot see on fucking camera for whatever reason. So he just goes
Because no one's
nuts.
gonna want to look at you two assholes after they see me.
Oh, right. Because Bob's so goddamn good looking that it will just make us look like absolute
You
trash.
said it, not me.
Okay, well,
Yeah, you said it, not me.
There was no hint of sarcasm there.
Speak for yourself. I mean, just because you got your
It's
little...
songwriting.
This is
Yeah.
why I smoke so much weed.
Friends
And
like these.
I'm a
You'll
mess.
never get vocals done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this weed helping your vocals any?
No.
Like, are we even be able to fucking do this rap song? Like, you got fucking vocals lined up that you still haven't done, and we got to get in the studio and record these in like 2 weeks.
So confrontation is a big part of songwriting.
Yeah,
Like,
very
what
well.
happens when you guys
Confrontation is a big part of our lives.
Yeah.
Songwriting,
I mean,
my
this is-
asshole. This is
Even though we're sitting on a couch talking about this shit, this is exactly what it is like to be in a fucking band and be in the songwriting
well,
process.
yeah.
especially if you have
It's
different
similar.
opinions.
Yeah.
Like a part of the song.
Like, we can bring it back to like some Buzzhound songwriting. Now,
Was the songwriting as intense as that recording video we all watched and loved? We should watch it again right here.
so you're catching on. It only took you 5 months.
Hey man,
But-
you know what? Hey Tim, you're on the podcast. You're on speaker.
What's up?
Tim!
Oh, hello.
All right.
You're live on the air right now. How can we help you?
All right. Are okay? Quick random questions from my brother, real quick, right on the air. Tim, what's the most craziest thing you've seen me do ever? Quick.
I just wanted to tell you guys that corn is coming to town.
Oh yeah, that's it. That's cool. Start thinking.
You son of a bitch!
Yeah, thank you. That's one of the bands we're not allowed to talk about. This is perfect.
The craziest thing you've ever done?
Yeah, one of the craziest things you ever seen me done. It doesn't matter how really bad it is. Go ahead. Hurry up.
Probably take like 6 Adderalls, and then you thought you were dying, and you thought your skin was crawling, and you almost had me call an ambulance.
Oh yeah, I took 6 Adderall over like a 2-day period, like an idiot,
Yeah.
and he watched it all fucking go down. All right, bye Tim. Thanks. I deserve that.
that was great. That was a first.
Oh, man.
We gotta have him on.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're
Buzzhound songwriting.
Buzzhound songwriting. Now, when we first started, like, we didn't really know, like, we were all learning. Bob was kind of, when we brought Bob in, it was, Bob's played in bands, he's played drums, we're all still learning. Which we should have
Put
never...
down the bottle and pick
Hold
up
on.
the sticks.
We should have, like, in retrospect, we should have never fucking played that angle and given him that kind of fucking credit or power. Because he fucking obviously fucking ran with it, like... That was being naive, which happens when you're first starting in a band. You're
So
naive
you
to
built
some
this
shit.
monster, is what you're telling me.
No,
I don't even know what he's talking about.
this
Okay,
mon-
yeah, let's
no,
go with
we
that.
just
Why?
we just fucking fed the monster. That's all. The monster was always there.
Fed me dollar deuces.
All right.
But anyways, like,
Fed me deuces.
so
That's the name
we're
of the
trying
episode.
to we're trying
Feed
to
me
figure
deuces.
out how to write songs. Now, Bob, like I said, we under the like, oh yeah, he knows what he's doing and we don't. He's our friend. We'll bring him in. But we didn't know what kind of fucking how huge of an asshole he'd want to be about it. But it happens, whatever. So I mean, 50...
I love these reactions.
Huge of an asshole.
Dave, just picture
Just-
the reaction. It's like this.
you know what I'm talking about.
No, I don't.
We've only talked about it for the fucking 5 months now. But anyways.
What's the first song we wrote?
What was it? Together as a band, or the
Yeah,
first
Together.
blowjobs?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, okay, so we're learning how to
Yeah.
write songs. We've mentioned this a little bit before. Like, Charlie didn't even have his bass yet. He's playing fucking bass on a guitar. Like, just with all the fucking tone down and, like, just 4-stringing it on the fucking... But he comes out with this really cool riff. And we're like, sweet, like, we gotta figure some words for it. And we just figured it'd be cool to have a song about blowjobs. Not everybody did, though. There was a rift. Half of us were for it, half of us were not so for it. And we weren't even playing foosball at the time, so I don't know, like, that's how we'd settle shit, too, like, foosball, like, you're...
And whoever won would get
But
their
we
choice.
weren't at foosball, so this might have been, like, hockey.
So we were.
Were we doing
this is when we
fucking-
were writing songs like on that concrete pad.
Yeah.
Like there was a concrete pad in between 3 barns. Like we were in the fucking, like, as country as you can fucking get.
Yeah.
We're in
With
New York.
a pool next to it.
Yeah, so there's 3 barns and a pool like on the open side, right? And it's just a
Alright.
concrete pad, and so we would just set up there and play it like
Yeah, because it's the
midnight.
middle. Yeah. Which, you know, the neighbors would sometimes like yell from miles away, like
And
through
come
the
and
woods.
start yelling, and then we would tell them that's not a good move.
Yeah, and then there was a migrant worker camp like down at the end of the road, and like in the summertime all the migrants are there, and they could hear us, and like we could hear them, and we'd probably yell through the fields to them. They'd yell through us. Like,
They dug it though.
yeah,
They were cool with it.
the
That's
migrant
cool.
workers loved us. The guy across the street down the way a little bit, not so much.
Yeah.
That's why our first cassette tape recorders were called Band and Bert,
All
because
right.
we were getting threatened to have people call the cops on us.
Did they ever call the cops?
And you could legit hear that shit from a mile or two away on a fucking... Because your moms could hear us having band practice from his house like a mile away. But yeah, we're writing these things, and you know, we probably set, like, to settle, alright, we don't want to have it this song, we want to have it this song, which I don't even remember what the alternate version of lyrics was going to be. But we probably played roller hockey on the fucking concrete pad, which was about the size of this area that we're in.
All right.
Full contact, too, by the way. No pads.
The size of this area.
No, it was like
The whole
twice
room.
as long as this and twice as wide.
No, not twice as long.
Yeah.
It may be as long as this.
No.
From there.
Yeah, and as wide, too. It was not, twice as long.
Yeah.
You were definitely drinking a lot of dollar deuces. It was not that fucking big. So, yeah, we probably just played fucking roller hockey. I probably got fucking smashed into the fucking pool deck by, a bunch of 6-foot dudes smashing me down.
There was hay
Hay bales.
up.
Not
Oh,
originally.
that's cool though.
We brought them in later.
Dude, getting checked against the side of the barn.
Yeah, which is fucking covered in, like, roofing.
Yeah, they had roofing
Shingles.
tiles. Yeah, roofing shingles on the side, so you like.
Yeah,
you
you're
would,
getting fucking
grip
screwed.
tape.
It was
Like,
like
you
a
can check
mix
the
up
grip tape.
between hockey and fucking deathmatch wrestling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
That's
amazing.
what we were going for.
And that's how we decided, like, I must have been on the winning team for the fucking Getting Blowjobs to be the song. But then also, Bob had also had, like, a bunch of songs that he was writing. What was the very first one, like, when...
Got me.
I was trying to think of that yesterday while I was at work all fucking day. Like, when you were still living in Lewis. You were just a tiny little baby. You had just started fucking walking. I remember being down in the basement and your dad showing the Got Me fucking... I just remember, like, that is why. I was at work all day, like, what the fuck was the name of that song? But we would sit there. That's how we would write songs. We'd come up with a riff. Sometimes we'd know what to do with it. Sometimes we wouldn't. We had one of our favorite songs was a song called fucking Jamlet. Which I don't even remember what the fucking lyrics were. But
I don't think it had lyrics.
it was just a little funk thing. They had like 2 or 3 parts. It wasn't a full jam. It was a jamlet. So we called it Jamlet.
Jamlet.
A lot of our...
I just found that.
Oh, nice. A lot of our lyrical inspirations came from, what we were doing at the time. So,
What's the first song?
yeah,
on
tell
that
me some
list?
names. I'll tell you about them.
Okay, Fuzzy Bumpin'. What a terrible name.
No, Fuzzy Bumpin' was
What?
great.
No.
Listen,
I'm just trying to create some kind of
Fuzzy Bumpin' was a great fucking song.
Yeah.
There was another Charlie on bass come up with the riff, came up with the name. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. Our buddy Charlie was dabbled in. He was working in a photo studio, so
Let's
photo
just, let's
lab.
just say he filmed movies
he filmed movies.
professionally
Yes, and that's where
for
the
amateurs.
okay. What's that?
So he
that's-
was in the industry that rhymes with horn.
Yes.
Got it. All right.
Okay,
Okay.
so
I
if
figured
you
that
look
one
on
out.
if you look on his card, like I made the Garbage Pail. Me and him made the Garbage Pail Kid Buzzhound cards. You'll see what he was about in the background of his Garbage Pail Kid card. Okay, hit me with another
All
one.
right. Well, my favorite one that was in development, and I'm assuming still is Angry Jimmy, which I think could only be about one Jimmy that I know, and I'm
That
assuming
I don't
it's
quite
you.
remember, but I'm guessing it's pretty
Hey,
self-explanatory.
Matty Russ, what you gonna do with the mad angry Jimmy looking at you?
Oh.
That was how it started.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
It
see-
was like a back and forth thing.
Oh,
that
yeah,
where it
okay.
Me and
ended?
Matt,
How
the
many-
lead singer.
Is
All
that
right.
where it ended?
No,
Or did it actually exist?
That might come out in 2021. Who knows? Okay, so
Optimistically hard might be the hardest thing to say for a song title
Wait.
I've ever. Optimistically Hard. Let's hear it.
I don't know anything
I
about
don't
that.
even think that was a song yet. We just loved that title.
Yeah, that
and
was.
so we were gonna write a song around
Yeah,
that title.
that's another thing. Like you come up with some cool phrases, and that's what that was. What else you got?
Bullet in the Head.
That was a Rage Against the Machine cover we used to do at parties.
And all right, Whack Jack. I know there's a story. behind
Whack
this.
Jack. Whack Jack's like one of our best songs, I think. Even though it was like it was really simple chord progression. Is
Yeah, that's so.
And this is-
that's so perfect for Bob.
which Bob's card is the hardest. I made him last when we made less of him, so his is the like rarest card to have.
You gotta get these printed.
They were.
They were. We used to give them out. We just didn't have them on sticker.
And we have to do ones for us.
We will.
You gotta do it. That's fucking great.
Yeah, because that's. I mean, I use that same technique to make that Beavis and Butthead logo. So yeah, Whack Jack.
Yeah, it's amazing.
We've been together for a few years. We've been playing shows. We've been writing, recording. This was a time when Bob had come with some lyrics and like a progression. But then we needed to add more to it. Like it was an incomplete idea. The gist of the song was it was somebody like trying to fucking leave his shitty town to go out to Hollywood or LA or wherever a big music scene was and make it big. But since you know how Buzzhound, we're our little posse or whatever, we really got into the TV show Lost. Which started because Charlie used to come late to practice and be like, I was watching Lost.
Every fucking Tuesday.
Yeah, so...
The practice was at his house and he was
Yeah,
late.
he's up in
Where
his
was
house.
he watching Lost?
He's up in his house watching Lost and we're setting up and
Oh,
we're
you guys
waiting
are
like an hour.
Okay, all right.
So we're getting all pissed at him, like
I
the
thought
three
he
of
was at
us.
like one of those like bar watch parties where there's like 80 people
Well,
watching
listen.
the show.
So we're like, what the fuck, Charlie? Like, show up. Like, we're all here waiting to fucking jam. You're in watching a fucking TV show. He's like, no, you
Won't
don't
even
understand.
answer the door.
Yeah. He's locked in his own fucking world. He's lost. So we're pissed off for like, and this is towards the end of the first season. We're pissed off, and then fucking the season's over. We're giving him shit. Like, what the fuck, man? You can't just fucking. We all agreed on this day. We're here to fucking jam, and you're in watching a fucking TV show. And he's like, you don't understand. You don't understand. No, we don't understand. Like, where the fuck are you? So at some point in that summer, like, we had another jam, and they were redoing the pilot episode. And he's like, come on, guys, like, just come in and watch the show. Like, if you don't like the pilot episode, then it's done. I'll stop watching Lost on band practice. I'll tape it, whatever. So we fucking sit down, get some snacks, watch this fucking replay of the premiere, and we're all like, what the fuck? Like, why are we watching?
You guys loved it right away.
Oh,
yeah.
we're like, why aren't we fucking watching the show? Why are you hiding here while we're sitting out here? So then we ended up, like, getting, like, a bootleg copy of, like, the first season on DVD. We all end up sitting down watching it. We're all fucking hooked. So now season 2 starts in the fall. And, like, that's our thing. Like, we're gonna fucking all get together. We're gonna fucking cook. Like, it's a big production. We all get together. We, like, come up with a
band practices turned
Wait.
into Lost parties.
We come up with like a menu, like we're gonna cook fucking tacos or something, or this or that, and then we're gonna sit down, have a meal, watch Lost, and then we're gonna go fucking jam. So we're in it, like we're hooked. So a lot of lyrics, like for that, like first a 2-year period, like have Lost references in them, and specifically with the Whack Jack song, when he brought it to the thing, like half complete with the riff and the lyrics.
I had all the music written. I just didn't have lyrics for a chorus.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then, right then was like the season finale of like season 3 or whatever, and Jack was one of the main characters. He was like the most level-headed dude on the show. He was like, a doctor?
Yeah.
Like he's the one that everybody kind of looked to be the leader when they're trying to figure it out. But at some point he loses his shit
Yeah.
and like starts fucking stealing pills from the hospital he works at, like stops shaving, he starts drinking whiskey, like just total fucking like meltdown. And like right then and there we're like, whoa, it's fucking Whack Jack, but he's whack, like he's Whack Jack. He's not whack as in like a whack rapper, but whacked out of his mind. So
Yeah.
that's it, Whack Jack, like that's our fucking chorus of our song. So like while we're sitting there watching this, like we're like right in the chorus of the fucking song, and then we get out and fucking jam it. It made sense. And then like some of the little catch lines like in the series, like I don't want to go back. And
Yeah.
Charlie, you're gonna like the one character was Charlie, and like he was the one everyone loved. He was the rock star guy, real lovable.
Yeah.
And then he ends up like dying and shit. And then there's like, I don't want to die, Charlie. That was one of the fucking things. So we threw that in the background of the song.
The
like,
chorus was literally whack Jack, come on Kate, we gotta go back.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. Okay, so you wrote a song actually based on his character.
No, the song
The
was
show.
The show, yeah.
no, the chorus was the song.
chorus was.
The song. The lyrics were about, like I said, a kid hopping on a bus, leaving a shitty town to go to a bigger city to become a fucking star, and then like they didn't want to go back to the island, so like it just made sense, and then we
And it
took.
was so fucking funny.
Smart.
And we were like,
Yeah.
we love Lost, and we like this song as it is right now, so let's just fucking combine it. It's fucking wonderful. And that was that.
And
Yeah.
then, which leading into that video that we've talked about and we've seen on here, we had a bunch of songs. We wanted to get them into the studio, so I found this guy on like MySpace or some shit, Craigslist. He was doing a fucking like you come record a song for free because he's trying to learn how to do shit. So like we're gonna go record Whack Jack, and we went there, and then we fucking decided we were gonna record the whole fucking Did You Do Yours Yet album.
And that's where that great video footage
Yeah,
is.
and that's where.
That we can revisit here.
Yeah, so, and that was a fun time, you know, like, at any given point, you know, 2 people be out in the car smoking weed while the other 2 were in the fucking studio, and, yeah, it was good times. What else you got on this here list?
I got,
It's kind of fun. I didn't even know there was a fucking list.
oh, so you guys covered, Killing in the Name of... Do what you told me. Alright, did you guys cover that song?
We did a different version, I think.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we
chill.
didn't do the Liberace version.
Hey man, you guys want me to sing? I'll sing. What's Scarlet 1?
Oh, that's...
That's Il Scarlet, 1A.
Okay.
That was another song that we fucked with once in a while.
Gotten Me.
God Me was the one song
That was the first song I brought to the band.
first song.
Hard as Button to Button, as in like
White Stripes.
the White Stripes song.
That was a cover
I
song.
played guitar on that one.
Love that
James
song.
played drums,
Yeah.
I played guitar.
Yeah, I had 2 songs I actually played. I was fucking Meg White on 2 songs. That one, and then the one song that Bob was playing for you out there, the drinking song.
Was Push It the Static X song or the
Salt and Pepper
Salt
song.
and Pepper song?
Oh, yeah,
We used
so
to
yeah.
open our sets up with some hip hop. Push It was being one of them.
Hope
Descendants.
as in Descendants.
Yeah.
The Descendants version, not the Sublime version.
Yep, and then okay. There's the list of the shit you guys were gonna do, like 420 show Monday is a couple nights.
Couples night.
Yeah, what does that mean? Let's
means
go
that-
into that. I don't know what that is.
That means that we couldn't practice because that was date night for the guys and the girls.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
There's got to be some other songs on there. You're missing out on.
That was
there's a
like
lot.
that was like the list of like, all right, we're done playing these
Here, let me-
ones.
A
and
couple,
we're gonna
check
get
this.
a couple acres.
Yeah.
Whack Jack, trying to be
Like,
key.
see, like, Don't Tase Me, Bro, isn't
Yeah.
on there.
Okay, yeah, here we go. A Couple Acres. That was a song that that was another time where it was a title that we liked, and it was in development. We had a couple things going on. P-Mosh Busboy, probably my favorite song of ours. Well, second favorite, tied for first, which is short for Plastilina Mosh Busboy. Plastilina Mosh being the Mexican band that Bob found and discovered and almost joined in 1996, but couldn't speak the language.
All right.
And then, put me on the tape, so we've been driving around. Even on our way to pick you up today, we were listening to P-Mosh. P-Mosh Busboy, the song is about, this is a song Bob wrote, about being a fucking
It's about-
busboy,
Yeah, it's about
wanting to
working
hook up with waitresses and shit.
Pretty
and
much,
just-
yeah. Yeah, just
Standard.
about trying to get through the day, meeting some girl, and start dating some chick at work, and then just like the crazy shit that happens.
Then we got,
In the kitchen industry, that fits in well.
Yeah.
It's a bus
which is
stop.
funny because Bob wrote it from a perspective of fucking working in a restaurant, even though he wasn't working in a restaurant.
Well, I had it for 3 years.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but he
was-
knew the feel of it though. That's the kind of shit that happens. Yeah.
Sunshine from Uranus. This is our surf song.
AKA the Henderson Way.
Yeah.
This is the one Bob might be most. Did you write this?
Yeah.
You might be most proud of this one because I've heard this one mentioned
Yeah,
more than anything
and you
else.
heard him playing it last week on the back
Well,
porch. The
it's a
riff.
really fucking hard song to
Right.
play. That's the song that we were fighting about in the video.
Yeah,
Okay.
And like
This
that's
is-
the one I've been like, now that I'm picking guitar back up, I've been practicing it just because if I can play that one, I know I got chops back.
Yeah.
And again, this is this is kind of about Charlie doing shit like not coming to practice because he's watching TV shows.
This song is literally about Buzzhound. And
Yeah.
like just the how ridiculous we all are at all times.
So Lost wasn't the only show that he was addicted to.
Well, no, he also there was
Would he
another
skip
thing.
practices for other
There was a
shows?
lacrosse game that he went to that was in that same video.
Yes, that's right. You mentioned that. That's
So
right.
then Fun Drunk, it's what I think short for Fun Drunk at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Is that the song? What song is that? The one you were playing?
No, Fun Drunk was like a heavier song, double bass.
Yeah, like I
It was
remember.
just about.
I remember it,
picking
but I don't
fights-
remember it.
Picking fights at closing time. It was just, sing about what you know.
So, yeah, I got it. So specific.
Okay, and then songs we're getting rid of. Yeah, I'm Here, Where Are You? This is probably the second song Buzzhound ever wrote. I actually came up with this kind of sweet little
I think
riff.
Brickhouse was the second song we
Okay,
wrote.
so it
Yeah,
was.
Here, Where Are You? I think
is
it was
the third
or
one.
fourth,
Which was just a little thing, and then trying to come up with words and stuff. We're just trying to get a hold of people on the phone, yeah, I'm here, where are you?
I think we were waiting for Russell,
Yeah,
and that's.
he's calling us and yeah, I'm here, where are you? And then that became the fucking song.
Yep.
And then Brick House. This is another little attempt at the funk. But the best thing about the Brick House, the little story behind it, is we had this one cat that used to kind of be our friend. The same kid that we talked about before. He brought the weed. The dog ate.
Yeah.
And then we thought that maybe he fucking took it back. He's the same kid that got an inheritance and shit. And spent it all on fucking sketchy hookers and coke. And got ripped off the entire time.
A lot of stories.
But he used to hang out with us, and to the point where Charlie made him his own studio monitors when we had our computer set up, which was just a pair of headphones with a fucking taped on cord that didn't plug into anything, and he wrote Naven's monitors on them. But we played this joke on him one day because he was trying to get a hold of us, but he was pissing us off at the same time. So we told him because he used to call us when he got the whatever he was doing. And tell us what he was doing, to rub it in. Hey, I'm in fucking Syracuse doing this. We're okay. But it's really fun, whatever. Okay, so you didn't tell us you were doing it, you just went off to do it. So we decided we were going to play a little joke on him. We told him we were playing a show at the... And it's not even really called the Brick House, it's called the Brickyard, I think. There's a fucking restaurant on Lewiston.
Oh, that's where you guys are playing?
No. We weren't. We just said, hey, we're playing this show right now at the fucking Brick House out in Lewiston.
Brickyard.
No, we made up.
Brickyard, but we didn't.
We didn't know. We were
Yeah.
fucking stoned. We called it the Brick House. So we called it the Brick House. So we got him all fucking riled up. So he would fucking drive out there to come fucking see us. Meanwhile, we were just having a brain practice. So then we sat there, all the lyrics are just about anti him, just talking shit. And there was one of my favorite lyrics of the whole song was,
God, I forgot.
Naven's dad was right. End your life tonight.
Oh my god! Talk about cancel culture.
But this whole song, it's a funk song. It had the fucking G sharp minor
And then it
9.
went to really fast,
oh yeah,
breakbeat.
that's where Oh no, we told him we got into this huge. We made up this whole story to him, yo, we just got into this fight at this bar because that's what it was, fighting behind the Brick House, and then we had him going out to this place that didn't fucking exist instead of coming to our band practice because he pissed us off, and then we made a fucking song about it. So that was one of our favorite things.
Which was a fan favorite too.
Yeah, it was, and I don't think he ever realized what it was about.
I think he doesn't realize shit.
Even though he'd be at all the shows.
You guys still talk to him?
He hollers at me once in a while on Facebook. He's trying to get back in with the crew, and everybody's kind of moved on. That Weezer song, "The World Has Turned and Left Me Here."
Yeah.
That's him. The world has turned and left me here.
Well, it's nice to see you guys are there for your boys. Glad to hear that.
Not our boy. It's not our boy.
So that was a good one. Then we had
Some hate. We gotta have this guy on here. Clear some shit up.
No.
what was Monkey Do? Monkey See, Monkey Do.
That was that pro weed song.
Okay.
Why the police always bothering me.
Yeah,
It's not
okay.
crack coke or something.
Ecstasy.
Yeah,
And
I forget the lyrics. That was a fun song to play.
yeah, then like I said, Jamlet, which wasn't a full jam, it was a Jamlet. Got Me. Alcohol Abuse. Is that what you were just singing?
Yeah, that's what I was out there.
That was a song. That was Bob bringing another song to the table. It was
That's at the Irish.
His Irish drinking song, where also I played
Listening to a lot of the Mollusk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can tell. When you
And
played that
this
earlier,
was,
yeah.
about a year and a half into the Dollar Deuce fucking special at the gas station too. So that is on this list of kind of like how we came up across songs and wrote them.
You keep everything, Bob, don't you?
I got a lot of shit, yeah.
I know you got a
So
lot
now,
of my cherished shit too.
You heard a little bit about Buzzhound. Like, talk about some of your projects,
Well,
your songwriting,
We're writing songs right now.
with One
Yeah,
Way
I know.
Terror, we're writing songs right now. Yeah.
and how's that going? Like, what are you doing?
With Joe, it's a different dynamic than it was with Jake. Because with Jake, we would all jam for fucking a half hour until someone came up with something cool. And it would either be Bob or Dave that would or anybody, any one of us would just say that's cool. I remember Two Broke the Care started that way with Jake playing that little under riff, and then I started playing over it, and you were like, that's cool.
Yep.
And then you or Dave, I don't know who. And then we just, with Joe, we sort of seem to write more separately, or like in groups of 2 or 3s.
Mm-hmm.
It's just because, like, getting together is harder.
Yeah,
Yeah,
At the
so
same
when we're all
time.
together jamming and keeping our chops up is also a
So
thing.
you got limited time, so you don't want
Yeah.
to spend your time just fucking working on shit you could be doing on the side. You got to get together and fucking get it tight.
Right.
Which you
Well,
already have.
because now between the podcast and the band, I mean, we've been active with both. There isn't, like, you guys had those days for date night and stuff. Like, we love doing this shit, so we sort of sacrifice that kind of shit from time to time, and I don't mind it. I don't think any of us mind doing it. Like, we love getting together, but yeah, it's different now because the amount of time we can get together, it's like
Everybody's
Joe
getting
comes with songs because he has the most time coming up in the summer with Indigo for the shows that he works and shit. So I mean, him being able to sit there and write and stuff really has helped. Like I said before the last record. Or the new record, depending on how you look at it. We got, me and Joe literally wrote most of the material pre me and Joe writing those jams were written with Jake. Or no, maybe they weren't. MLK, whatever we're going to call that new one, was written with Jake. A couple of those were written with Jake. And then me and Joe wrote a bunch of them, and I think we all wrote some together. Filthy was written.
You wrote Filthy.
I wrote Filthy myself.
Enola.
And that came off the other record.
No,
Two
these-
Broke the Care.
The song, like the riffs, or these lyrics too?
No, lyrics. Ep21 I wrote. Bob helps me clean the shit up a little bit. Bob's really good at fucking writing and sort of paraphrasing things, if you will, like breaking things down and shit. So I let him do that. And if it sounds stupid or mediocre, he fucking tells me. So that's the fucking dynamic.
I think you had like 2 paragraphs for Filthy. And I was like, I got some shit that'll work with those, like drinking doubles.
Now here's the thing: when doing because we're re-recording all the vocals, like we have. lead
You're
vocals
re-recording
done.
vocals when you got vocals you still need to record. Like,
No,
No.
that's what
Okay.
we hear recorded vocals.
We
they need
re-
to re-record.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we're gonna re-record.
the
it.
vocals in question need to be re-recorded.
But not because
Why
we
don't you
ever
just throw some
thought.
auto-tune on that shit?
That'd be weird. Not because we ever.
Yo, you gotta
thought-
try with at least one song in the chorus or something.
Alice Cooper did it
you
on
gotta
a
try
recent
it.
album, and it just does not fit non-rap or non-hip hop at all.
I'm just saying.
I
just-
can't
just
see
try-
it working in a punk atmosphere by any means, or metal or whatever.
You don't know it. You don't knock it until you've tried it.
I'm gonna consider it.
I would consider it, but having Joe put auto-tune on us is not something likely. And Dave
I can see
using
the look of
auto-tune.
anger on
Dave
Joe's-
has punk credit, dude. He ain't cashing that shit in yet. All right, he's building it.
Time to cash out, Dave. Put some auto-tune on.
With writing, my favorite kind of writing is everybody going from the ground up from stage 0 in a room together and writing. I would love for at least a couple of these tunes from the next record we're going to record to come out to actually be written that way. I feel like when you change dynamics in writing, it builds a record so it's not so one-dimensional. Like that's why this record is not even out yet. I feel is gonna fucking blow minds as far as One Way Terror is concerned, because you can see the difference of the songs that were written together and the songs that weren't. And I think with the Joe stuff, Joe thinks he's goddamn Geddy Lee or something, and he writes these fucking epic prog fucking masterpieces that it's you know, it's beyond my fucking playing time right now. Like, I'm not, like, I need, like, but it's good. It makes me keep my chops up
it's
and
9
shit like
minutes,
that.
like 7 fucking
No,
key changes,
no, they won't
4
stand
time
for that shit.
signatures.
However, the last 2 are around.
Bob's like, I can't stay sober enough to figure
Well,
out
actually, one of
fucking...
the songs super long is one I wrote.
Well, that one too, but there's the other one is like 5 minutes, which is weird for a one-way song. But it works well. We have like Joe actually recorded. See, that's what Joe did. He did like, because me and Joe recorded those songs that we wrote separately 2 nights before the recording or whatever it was. We recorded those soft recordings quick so they could listen to them over 2 days, and then we got in this, and then the day before I think we got together and started jamming the shit, and then at the studio we sort of,
and that's kind of why we need to redo vocals, is because we had no time to really work on vocals.
Yeah, it was crunch time, and if we had known, I would have had everything done, because we even like omitted guitar solos and shit to save time, but we wanted to put more songs on it, so that is partly, come to think of it, mine and Joe's fault, because
I'm glad we finally got here.
I know. Why do I do this? I'm working so hard not to inflate his ego, and I do it every time. His son's yawning in the chair. Look at this. Is it black?
I don't know. Okay, you got it.
That's sweet. All right.
What was like some of your songwriting prior to One Way Terror, like other bands you were in? Like how did your crews or your peoples, how did you guys do it?
Well, I guess the first one, like I said, came out of a cover shit.
Yeah, I mean, you guys were doing all covers. Did you have any originals?
No, the first show was all covers. It was like Korn and a couple Nirvana songs and shit like that. The second show we kept covers, but
what
we
Nirvana
wrote
songs were you
2
playing?
or 3, Teen Spirit and About a Girl.
Okay.
But we were young, dude. I know.
I was thinking,
know.
like,
if it was up to me
School or
now, I'd
fucking
probably pick.
Aneurysm.
Those are the 2 I was just
Negative
gonna say to
Creep.
you. But there's a lot of
Anything off
Fucking
of
Barber.
I would say anything
There's-
off of Bleach,
what,
Mr.
Francis
Mustache.
Farmer.
We'll have a Revenge on Seattle. That's
yeah,
probably my favorite
yeah,
Nirvana song.
Yeah. So, there was a lot I would have rather did, but it didn't happen that way. Writing in that band was just our first band, so it was just stupid shit. We were listening to a lot of street punk and political punk, so a lot of that shit was very amateur hour political lyrics.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't take our freedom type of shit. Real fucking kindergarten. But it is what started, and then when I formed Tainted Army, I wrote everything, and the songs were a little more. I was listening to.
Did you guys have a logo for Tainted Army?
Yeah, it was an
anus.
It was an anus.
I'm just like, I hear that
It was
name,
a-
I hear that, and I'm just like, I picture an art.
And I have it folded up in my closet. I'll take a picture, but it's a black. It's a black flag with white stripes. A big fucking thing.
Black flag and white stripes.
No, check it out. Yeah, literally, it was a black fucking thing. It's white stripes going off, and then it was.
You had Rollins.
It
and
was a
fucking
cool
Jack White.
like skull and crossbones, but not a lame one that Mike did, and then underneath it said Tainted Army in the fucking
That sounds
corner,
like our Blue Lives
like
Matter,
a flag.
Yeah.
No,
And
this
where-
isn't fucking 2002,
Where did
dude.
you? Where
So
did
you're
you?
an OG Blue Lives Matter?
Yeah, right. No, it
Where did the
was. I
name-
didn't even think about that when you guys were laughing about
Where
it.
did the
I thought
name
it's
come
that.
from? You guys were.
I
just
was
like,
listening to almost nothing but Anti-Flag at that point, and like Casualties, and fucking Dead Kennedys.
So you're ready to fuck the government?
Everything was political. I was fucking 16, 15 years
Like,
old.
when I can vote in a couple years, I swear I'm gonna change the world.
Yeah, and then I realized that's a fucking Lord of horseshit. Once you realize that,
And then
So where do you draw, like, inspiration from when you're working on these stuff? Like, what do you do to get in the zone? Do you gotta get in the zone? Do you just, like, pick a topic and go?
it was a lot easier younger in my teens and stuff because you don't have enough knowledge to really look at things objectively. So in my opinion, it's easy to just fucking sing about things that you're seeing. Like, I was learning about punk at the time. The shit was fresh in my mind. Talking about the government was how I was able, just whatever was coming out of my mind. You know what I mean? Now it's a lot more personal shit that I tried to hide into, like Enola 51. I always said it was about me standing outside smoking at my parents' house who live on Enola, and Enola Ave in Kenmore, and I was so stoned that I it was a fucking flying saucer, and if an alien ever came down and said to me, "Do you want to come with us?" I would say yes. It was that amateur thinking, and then everything about me wanting to get out of not get out of the planet, but sort of shed my skin and get new skin. Like if you were to, like the grass is always greener type thing.
Yeah.
But how that doesn't necessarily work. So the whole thing was just about a mind fuck. And then Bob named it Enola 51, which is fucking brilliant.
I know, the whole time,
Area
I've heard the name of the song a bunch of times, and I'm just picturing like a World War II bomber with a fucking pinup girl painted on the side. That's what I thought the entire time.
The Enola is the name of a ship from
the Enola
that
Gay,
time
which
period.
is the one that dropped the atomic bomb.
Exactly. So that's
why.
It all worked out perfectly.
Yeah, it worked out well.
And the thing was, like, so he did this, and he came, like, I wrote the song, I got the riffs. I just wanted it to be a simple punk song. Like, just a simple, straightforward punk song. And we're like, perfect.
Yeah.
And so, like, we had that thing down, and, like, even writing the beat for that, it was, like,
yeah, it was
kept
quick.
that in my mind. So, like, when you're writing stuff, and you're bringing it to the band, it's awesome when you're like, this is the idea I got, this is what I was thinking. But like you were saying, when you have one person that writes everything for a band, or like, you know, Trent Reznor, I think is the perfect example, just sounds so much the same.
Or William Patrick Corrigan.
Yeah, yeah.
I wouldn't say that about Billy Corrigan. Who did you just reference, though?
I
will say Trent. And if have either of you listened to recent, and this connects, trust me, recent 9 Inch Nails?
Yeah.
It's like a score. It's
well,
not
that's what,
music.
that's
there's
what
not vocals.
That's what he's been doing lately. That's where he's had his writing partner for a long time, and they're kind of at that point where they're doing more score stuff. So
yeah,
some of the newer shit has been sounding more score.
And I know he did like the whole soundtrack to like Jonah Hill's movie. I think about mid '90s. I think the movie's called. I think he does like soundtrack and shit like that, which I think's cool. But you're right. When one person writes something, it tends to just fucking start sounding the same, or they try too hard to break out of the box that they were in with old albums. Pumpkins are like that, but there's like, even on their shitty albums, there's 2 to 4 songs that sound like the Pumpkins.
Yeah, but I mean, like when you hear his music, you know it's him. You know it's him writing it.
Do you feel that way with Corrigan, with Pumpkins, with
Smashing Pumpkins? His voice is pretty fucking
the voice.
I'm just saying, like lyrically, like you want to go lyrically, like he's got a very, I don't want to say specific, but you know what his lyrics are.
Yes, and cadence-wise and vocally, I know it's Corrigan. Even with that shit Zwan, you know it's Corrigan.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, even without putting the identifier out there with which would be his voice, like if he wrote a song and had somebody else fucking sing it or play it, you could almost say him. Yeah, kind of. I mean, I love the fucking.
I'm giving your guy some credit here by saying.
I'm just saying this in the same way. Like you listen to "Pretty on the Inside," which is Hole's first album, and then you listen to "Live Through This," you can tell that there was some help. And I'm not knocking either one of them albums because I think they're both fucking great. I love "Pretty on the Inside." "Live Through This" is one of the best albums of the '90s, I'll say. But then you listen to the one after that, and Billy Corrigan was helping her write that one, and that one, you can see the difference, and it doesn't stand up as well as the first two.
All right.
So the first 3 Hole albums, you can see where Courtney wrote it, you can see where Kurt wrote it, and then you can see where Billy wrote it. And like that.
I guess you can identify. Like if I read lyrics, I know if Bob wrote them. Like I can tell what Bob wrote. I can tell from a song structure probably what Bob has wrote. So yeah, there is identifiable structures.
Yeah,
from each
I'm just saying, like, you know where it is. It's the same exact way with Bob. Like, you know what... And you could even go on a Buzzhound song list, and you could probably... If you wanted to spend that much time listening to all the songs, you could tell... You could tell which ones were him bringing it, or us together, or a combination of the two. And if we'll sit down one of these days, like when we get all the fucking audio, and we'll figure it out.
So to wrap
No.
things up today, do you want to talk about your favorite songwriter, most influential songwriter?
Most influential song.
Most influential?
That isn't someone we normally talk about,
I got someone I could think of maybe
or a lot.
on the
All right.
fucking.
One of my favorites that I feel wrote. Listen, a lot of cheesy shit, but anyone in the 80s, even like bands from the 70s that now we're trying to fit in with the 80s, my favorite bands, we all know who those are, and fucking like...
Which we haven't mentioned once.
No,
by
we
name.
will now, though. So, Desmond Child is a songwriter that not a lot of people probably know, but back in the 80s, songs were normally, any hit that you heard, pretty much, unless it was on the first record of this band, was not written by the band themselves. And this guy, Desmond Child, wrote like You Give Love a Band Name, Living on a Prayer, a bunch of Kiss stuff from the 80s, a bunch of Alice Cooper's, some of his biggest songs, Feed My Frankenstein, Poison. He wrote Dude Looks Like a Lady and Crying by Aerosmith. Like, I think all those timeless
He wrote
songs...
Thong Song?
Did he? Is that on there?
That's what, like the first thing that popped up. I don't know.
And it says Cisco 2001.
I'm going to look it up right now.
No, that's what I'm saying, and he's still writing. And he had his band Desmond Child and Rouge. But if you go on the back of any fucking
and you look at the songwriter
record,
credits.
I mean, yeah, and his stamp is usually on the back of the CD. Desmond Child is and
Yeah, he's on the...
yeah, that's interesting. Now, I know
So
he
he writes
produced
all these
stuff.
fucking like amazing fucking
Co-writes.
timeless classics.
He
and
I mean, obviously, no
Yeah.
band is going to give him 100%
Yeah.
the rights. It's always,
But
but you can tell.
and I do recognize the name from Aerosmith. That's
At least with Kiss, in their credits on every record, you can tell who wrote what based on whose name is first. I figured that out very young. Like, okay, why is Desmond Child's name first on Crazy Nights, but it's not named first on whatever fucking song? It's named third. It's because I know he brought in the skeleton for that song, or probably 100% of it. And you know what I mean? And his songwriting abilities was just sort of sitting down. Like, he was there when Aerosmith takes him to go to a bar when they're trying to write Dude Looks Like a Lady. They have a hard time writing. It's like, we're going to go to this bar.
And wasn't it about Vince Neil?
So, oh, God damn it. You
Okay.
just ruined it. So they go into this bar in, I'm assuming, L.A., if I remember correctly. And they're sitting there, and this fucking blonde-haired girl is standing at the bar, and Steven Tyler or Joe Perry, I forget which one, said, look at that hot girl, I'm going to go talk to her. And she turns around, and it's Vince Neil, dressed completely like he would on stage as Motley Crue, looking like a chick, and that's how they wrote Dude Looks Like a Lady. And he helped write that, and I think Desmond Child's the one that actually came up with the thing, like, we're calling the song Dude Looks Like a Lady. So they were working on the record.
Yeah, he wrote Crazy for Aerosmith, too.
Yep, a bunch of stuff.
I thought he wrote a lot of it.
He
That's
wrote
right.
the Hanson song.
Well,
Ricky Martin.
Did he write Did he write Mbop?
No, not
I was
Mbop.
say like. What?
I think he's on some. I've been seeing his name mentioned. He might have some current stuff out there.
Yeah, he did all that terrible fucking American Idol shit, like Hillary Duff, Carrie Underwood, Bo Bice.
So like you need a
Lindsay
hit.
Lohan.
You need a hit. This is the guy you call.
But that's the thing though, is because he was so known from, at least in the real music world, like probably not by these fucking people you're naming, the artists themselves, but at least from record company standpoint, they knew to go to Desmond Child. I mean, that list is fucking
So
incredible.
He wrote a Sick Puppy song in 2013.
Yeah, a whole bunch of stuff. And what's his current? Is he there current?
Bonnie Tyler this year. Countess Luann, Eva La Diva.
All right, so he's dipping a little bit, but
Ava Max, Zed. Or no, Ava Max.
Did he write the-
took a
it's
break
all-
for 5 years.
oh, so he wrote for Zed. That means he's writing for like dubstep and stuff too. Good for him. He always finds a way to stay current. That guy. And I own one of his albums on vinyl from Desmond Child and Rouge. That's a very good. You could tell like those songs are great. He just didn't have a face for the songs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
So
Like,
that's kind of what it is.
I think he just enjoyed writing. He enjoyed working with all those artists. He wrote some of my favorite Alice Cooper and Kiss songs. I mean, he's a genius in my opinion. What about you?
So off the top of my head, a songwriter that I find super influential, I will say Issac Brock from Modest Mouse.
Okay, yeah, I know you love those guys.
Because, I mean, lyrically, I mean, I don't know what it is with the lyrics. They fucking resonate with me on a whole different level than a lot of lyrics do. Even shit like very sarcastic, very tongue-in-cheek. Also, like, you can feel the pain and the emotion in the voice, in the fucking lyric. Even something like Night on the Sun. Turn out the lights because it's night on the sun.
Yeah.
Like, something like that might not make sense to somebody, but it makes sense to me. Or something like Harcook's Brain, where, like, the ravens and the seagulls push each other inward and outward. Like, weird little things like that. Like, I know whatever mental illness this dude suffers from, like, I suffer from the same shit, kind of, so
Yeah.
really resonates there lyrically, and then you listen to the actual, like, the guitar riffs and shit he comes up with. And, you know, he's got a very distinct style as well. It's almost like alternative rock, but he also puts just a little bit of surf twang in there.
Right. Does
Which
he
is
write everything himself?
Yeah, I mean, for the musical compositions, like, he will let the band members come in and do stuff with him too. But, like, lyrically and, like, the riffs and shit. And, like, the whole like, everything with him is like a contrast, like a yin and a yang. Like, even fucking the name, Modest Mouse, which came from a fucking line in a book where it was something about all the modest, mouse-like people. But then you have stuff like Float On, which, when that song even came out, was my first introduction, and I fucking hated it.
Yeah, me too.
But if you sit there and, like...
And that's a band I never dipped in too deep. And maybe I should do that.
If you sit there and listen to it, like, yeah, I hated it, but then you look, like, you feel that pain and that emotion, and then just...
It's really heavy. Like,
Yeah.
I can't listen to it too much anymore because it's...
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I can't either. Like, unless I'm going through, like, some shit in my mind, like, in the middle of the deep darkness of wind, like, I'm not, like, if they're coming to town, I'll go see them, yeah. But I'm not gonna throw on, like, This Is a Long Drive for somebody to think about, or somebody with nothing to think about, or The Moon in Antarctica, like.
I feel like
drama. Like, I'm not gonna drive around, like, to the beach listening to Modest
Is the
Mouse.
music as depressing, vocals aside?
Yeah.
That's the depressing part about
Okay,
it.
okay.
Like, it like,
because
the way
normal people don't listen to lyrics like we do when listening to music.
I know, and that's like something I've been finding
I don't
out.
listen to lyrics.
You don't?
Not usually.
I
this
never
is-
really
this
did
is a
until
we-
I started experiencing life. And
This
trying
is a
to
weird.
relate.
This is a weird thing because I felt that just in the last few weeks, like, me and you have had this discussion. Me and Vicky had this discussion. I don't know if me and you have ever had it, but a lot of people aren't like. I always go lyrics first. Like,
These days.
your
I do.
lyrics, like, maybe it's because I was a rap kid, but like,
Hip hop kid.
Is that how rap kids describe themselves?
No, I was
Rap
no,
kid.
I was trying to get a reaction out of Reed, but then he decided he was going to stretch and yawn at the very moment I was trying to get the reaction. I heard the laugh, but you were just like, you didn't even see the fucking air quotes. But so lyric.
But Reed, you can see them here.
I'm glad you finally embraced on the song.
Dude, I love it.
It only took you 21 fucking weeks.
Here.
Now you learn how to fucking put your phone on silent.
It's not on silent. Did I? I don't know.
No, because
That's the point. It's not on silent.
He's like, the fucking edibles kicking in. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
I feel great. I'm loving this episode. Everything's good.
But yeah, so it's weird because I always like would assume lyrics, but then you even read interviews from like people or someone like Kurt Cobain, who everybody says like the voice of a generation.
Say, that's actually true.
And
his lyric.
he'll be the first one to tell you like he's just making up shit to fit the melody and like he's pulling a bunch of
Based
different
on
things.
sounds.
You know,
And-
that's one of my favorite ways to write that I can't really harness anymore. I can't really do it. Is not thinking, just writing, and then when you read it back, it makes so much sense in a weird Van Gogh or whatever type of way. Just like a picture forms out of just random fucking splashes.
Well, writing like that allows people to like come up with their own relatable point like, to that song.
Instead of just
Yeah.
telling them exactly what it is, you give them like.
And that had to be what Cobain did, because
That's definitely
I
what he
used to
did.
be able to pull it off, and I just can't anymore. Where you just don't think and you just fucking literally write, and it's hard for me to.
Yeah,
fucking
and it's
do.
just like I said. Moral of that little quick thing was I didn't realize how many people don't actually go lyrics first; they go music. Like I definitely want the music and the energy I'm feeling from it, but lyrically something's got to be happening too.
Well, you know what? Just back to our points here. The reason I think the way to do that is like Cobain must have did this too, where you're scatting vocal melody, and then you're filling in the word based on that melody.
Well,
that's
recordings of him doing that.
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
but that's how everyone. I mean, there's a bunch of Kiss demos that have that, like, and that is a way. I have tons of melodies on my phone. I just pull out my phone and fucking record it real quick on my song recorder, and you can writing that way for me is really easy and therapeutic because that's how it just sort of comes out of your fucking head.
Quick off topic, but not anybody on your list of anybody we've ever fucking talked about in all these weeks. Favorite singer not talked about. Like, who would you look at as a lead singer and be like, holy fuck, like their voice is amazing, like this is somebody I really get behind?
Can I say Steven Tyler? There's been very little Aerosmith talk. I think Steven Tyler is the most underrated vocalist, and I honestly think his style, I'm not saying his range, his style beats out Plant for me. And I guess that's who he's most comparable to. And definitely, from the Stones?
Mick Jagger.
Mick Jagger. I mean, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, come on, Bob. Don't give me that look. Because I'll tell you why. Tyler's lyrical value is, bar none, the most craziest and real fucking lyrics. I think he's one of the most underrated lyricists. I read some of that fucking shit with the music. And just see how it fits the fucking song.
I can relate what you're saying, and I actually had to listen to this song randomly, like a week ago out of nowhere, because it was just popping in my back of my head. Janie's Got a Gun.
Yeah, even the 80s stuff. And you want to know who helped write Janie's Got a Gun? Desmond Child. I'm 95%.
That's how I knew
you can look that up. But I'm pretty positive, because that was on Pump, and that's when he started working with the band. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, that's a great song.
And he's got a beautiful daughter.
He does have a beautiful daughter.
I had to throw out something to Liv Tyler there.
I just want to say, most underrated songwriter that I am aware of, Izzy Stradlin.
Is he in the Juju?
Well, yeah, he's underrated.
I'm talking like
credit.
Are you giving him
almost all of Use Your Illusions one? He wrote Patience, like one of my favorite songs by that band.
Who is your vocal guy, like your singer that you don't think it's somebody we don't talk about? Shannon Hoon.
100%.
Yeah.
Really?
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah. I'm not even doubting on that at all.
And then, I mean, he's getting tons of love after that Van Halen cover, but Mike Patton is absolutely fucking amazing.
I'll give you Patton, because his voice is just still as good as it fucking was 25 years ago.
So is Shannon's.
Yeah. Well, his voice isn't so good right now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's dead. You ever see him live?
No.
Did you?
No, just video footage. Yeah. The guy I'm gonna throw out there for my guy singing is Scott Weiland. Yeah. Like anything he's ever been on, I've not disliked.
What just a great frontman.
Yeah.
Frontman, vocalist, singer, songwriter, yeah.
And one of the nicest fucking dude ever. I remember years ago, Stone Temple Pilots were in Toronto. Me, Matt, Charlie, and my friend Leanne, we all went up there because Stone Temple Pilots were doing all this free shit for a whole week when one of their albums was coming out. We thought they were going to do this acoustic in-store performance. Turns out it was just a meet and greet. But me and Leanne stood in line for 2 hours. Me and Charlie went off to go probably eat at Mr. Sub or some shitty restaurant that they thought was going to be great, but it turned out not to be. We were standing in line. This lady had her 2 little kids in front of us. And we waited 2 hours, and these kids were so excited. They wanted to meet Stone Temple Pilots. It was their favorite band. They had all this candy and shit. We finally get into the record store and go around the little curtain. And when they looked over and saw these 2 little kids, the whole band, especially Scott, they were so fucking lit up with joy to see kids and not just some douchey fucking assholes that want an autograph.
Yeah.
They were so genuine, the love, and they had bowls of candy on their table, and these kids had this candy, and they were just fucking trading candy and getting up, and Scott's hugging these kids, and they're
that's cool.
It was just a fucking absolutely beautiful thing.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well, songwriting. So about to wrap this up. I gotta take a fucking piss like a motherfucker. And you're about to take a nap, it
I'm
looks
good,
like. So
dude. I'm fine.
we have
Listen
talked
to you.
about songwriting. Now we gotta fucking write a song. Hopefully we can, once we get some lyrics down, we can get right into the studio. This ain't gonna be like a fucking One-Way Terror album.
Yeah, I'm in.
So it's not going to be any good?
Joe's not producing it.
Well, we might have to go to Joe to have
Yeah,
him
we
fucking do the
probably will.
vocals. So
Probably will.
it is gonna have a Joe production. That's kind of what I was hoping on.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. Fucking let's close this kitchen.
Sounds good. Kitchen's closed.
Sweet. Let me show you a video about some Buzzhound